Greetings everyone and welcome back to Fill Up the Hole. Now if you're unfamiliar with the game, it is a delightful little incremental game built on Steam as turn trash into cash in a dystopian world. Fill Up the Hole is a short incremental game where you build a city, automate garbage production and toss it into a magical hole for profit. Now again, I wanted to really draw attention to the automate the production of garbage. We need to throw the garbage in the hole, but first we have to have garbage to throw. So a lot of this game is actually automating the production of the garbage. I covered the demo not very long ago and I fell in love with the game, and I am extremely happy to be able to showcase the full version. We're on version 1.07D and there have been a couple of patches since it released on the 17th. But let's go ahead and just jump into it. It's always easier to show rather than to describe. But if at the end of this video you decide you enjoyed what you saw and you'd like to see more or more like this, then do let me know by massaging those lovely buttons down below. But with that, let's go ahead and just jump straight in. Now I'm going to cancel the previous game. We'll start a new game. You've got a couple of different options. You've got a relaxed mode. Buildings will not be destroyed, but a durability loss, which makes the game a bit more of an idle game. Or extended mode, which ups the grind. Everything takes a little longer to achieve. We'll just play on the basic game. This should take us about two and a half-ish hours, depending on our progress. Fill up the hole. There's a hole that gives money when trash is thrown into it. We all need a trash money hole. Press the info button under the portal to create a peon who can help, because there is trash just lying there, which we can throw ourselves, but okay, that was a bit of an overshot, but we'll still get a little bit of money for it. But of course, we want someone else to do the trash throwing for us. Get a new peon. Peons can do different tasks and throw trash into the hole. Very well. Right click and drag the camera. You can also use WASD to move, hold shift and WASD to move faster, yada yada yada. More trash will be needed. Press the build button to construct new buildings. Very well. Let's construct a house for $5. Sad peons enter the house to rest, get happy and produce trash. Plus 3 maximum peons. Trash produced, 1 per occupant. Trash value is $1 per level. And the cloud rate is 0.5% per occupant. What is a cloud? Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. Right, factory can now also be built, but we don't need one just yet. In fact, I would like more peons, and they're going to cost 5, and then they're going to cost a little bit more, increasing costs, as you might imagine. Teleport all outside peons back to this location. We don't need to do that. We can see that presently the peons can only carry 1. That can be upgraded. There we go. We've now got the maximum amount of peons. Now, there are things that you can do. One thing that I'm not even sure was in the demo, but I am aware, is in the game are little mini games, and we are going to need to play quite a lot of those in order to get to where we want to go. But we're starting to run out of trash, so let's go ahead and build a factory as soon as we can. There we go. Some buildings require workers. Press the plus button in the info panel to assign a peon. There we go. I would like one of you to go in there and produce trash. Produces trash by making peons work. On the 10th cycle, produce more. There is a commentary here somewhere about, just going to work in order to produce trash, but oh well. That's far too depressing. This is a dystopia at the end of the day, though. Now, one of the things that every single building can do is there's a little bit of a mini game that you can play, and that is actually worth playing because it gives you access to special resources. I'm going to wait until we have the opportunity to see those special resources, though, before we do that. Now, let's go ahead and build one of my favorite buildings, the catapult. A peon will drop trash in storage. Workers will throw trash into the hole. Very well. Max storage is 9 per level, and it throws 1 trash per level for each worker. Let's go ahead and build you and assign 1 peon. I will allow the peons outside to drop things off here. That's the main way that you're going to build up any trash. And the factory is now producing trash at a reasonable rate. Let's go ahead and upgrade the house a little bit, get some more peons if we can. I can of course help. I am an Aavak of the people after all. There we go. I've got a very strong throwing arm apparently. There we go. If I can actually click on the trash. There we are. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, let's get a couple of peons. We need just 12 to get 1 more. Now, over here, we've got a rock. And if I put a worker in there, they will start working on removing the rock. This is how we get more room to build more stuff. There's actually quite a lot of play space. And over there is something special if we can actually get there by the end of the video. Right now, we're trying to fill up the hole, as you can see, and we're trying to do something to this giant rock over there. It'll become more apparent as we make a bit more progress. But at this point, we need, well, actually, we've got a decent amount of the fill already done. I would very much like to get an upgrade to the house, get some more peons out there, get them to help. We can upgrade all sorts of things. It'll tell us here what happens. This will just increase the value of the trash that is there. This will increase the amount thrown per worker and also enlarge the storage, but that's for 33, which is quite a lot, to be fair. Currently we're waiting on just a little bit to get some more peons, and really this is the game loop. We're slowly going to work our way through. Oh my lord, why is the trash all the way over there? Let's bring some of it a little bit closer, but it is being thrown out every which way. So if we bring it a little bit closer, it is just going to help stop that trash rolling off the side there. All right, we're up to 18. Very nice. Let's get another. And 23 is right around the corner. This shouldn't take us too terribly long. But you notice how the trash is a different color. Also, okay, well, this is making it very obvious that there's a mini game. Just click the little buttons. Donk. There we go. Notice how it drops bones. I'm not sure what to make of that, if I'm perfectly honest, but we won't get the info on what that minigame was, but basically you have to look for the things that are changing in some way. Over here, the little minigame, you can click on these to change them around, so on and so forth. On this one, I think it's basically binary, so we want to do that. That's 1, 2, 3, there we go, 4, 5. No, come back. 6. Ah. No, that's 8. Ah, damn it. I flubbed it. But we have expanded this out quite nicely. We can pop another peon over there, but we're just about to get to the next stage. Notice the little yellow shard there. We got that from the rock being destroyed, and that is something that we're going to be seeing a lot of. Wow, there are so many bones down there. Why are they bones? I don't understand. Either way, as you can see, the background over here shows us how full the hole is, and it is now time for an earthquake. When the hole is full, an earthquake will empty it, destroy all buildings, and remove money. But you'll get 75% of the money spent on all of the buildings will be converted into trash. You'll also get 1 blue shard, and 10% current money is converted to trash and increases the cost of buildings. So that is, well, I think it might be better for me to just invest what money I have then, as I get 75% of that back rather than 10%. So let's do that. There we go. Pomp. Right, there we go. Loads of trash, loads of peons. No one has a house, which is kind of bad, you might imagine. All right, so let's go ahead and build a house over here this time, but let's quickly get up to the point that we're no longer got anyone without a house, because that'll make them sad, and I don't want my peons to be sad. All right, there we are. We'll add that in. I'm also going to just go ahead and pop a catapult down. Now, you might wonder, well, why am I putting a catapult over here? It's not saving much time, but it does actually save time for the runners, because the runners can drop off at the catapult. I'm also going to upgrade the catapult, and I'm going to have 1 worker in there. The next level will give us an extra floor, another trash thrown per worker, but an extra worker as well. So at that point, the catapult will be able to throw 6 every cycle, which will be significantly better. But we've got 1 yellow shard there. We really need a blue shard before we unlock the next section, if you like, so the tech tree, and at that point I will gain access to all kinds of interesting cabins, but we do need the blue shard to make his way over first. There we go. Gained the blue shard. The upgrade tree can now be unlocked. Okay, so if we want to click here at the beginning, unlock the upgrade tree. Boom, there we go. Now this actually expands out a lot. Right now, we've got a couple of options. Anything that's flashing is something you can afford. You can get bulldozers, we can get extra mining, we can get a power plant, we can get a compressor. That is something I very much want, but it's going to cost us 4 yellow shards. We can upgrade all sorts of things, but there is a research lab. There are different colors here. These need blue shards, these need orange shards, these just need money, and these need research points. But we're going to go ahead and unlock research with 1 yellow shard. Now, we've completed a quest. We can click over here, find the quest, go and look for it. Building the future. Unlock a new building type. The ability to see all upgrade nodes. I will claim that right away. Now, I can turn that off or I can have it on. I actually kind of like having it on myself, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff that you can get to. And generally speaking, I don't think there's even the resources to unlock everything in a single run, but I don't think you'd have the time before you'd won the game. So I'm a little bit uncertain on that one. Either way, we now have oh, good Lord, a glorious research facility. So let's go ahead and build our research lab. There we go. And we will now pop a peon in here. Peons will do research and generate RP, research points. Trash produced, 1 per worker. That is fine. I'll pop 1 worker in there. There we are. But there are other things that we can look at, specifically the help. I strongly recommend that as soon as you've got access to this, check it out. Control is, well, controls, go figure. Peon tells you a little bit about it. Happy peons move 20% faster. Content peons move at a normal speed. And sad peons move 30% slower. Length of happiness, length of contentness, length of sadness. Now you might be wondering, well, what happens when they finish being sad? Well, they get really, really sad and decide that being here is not for them. They are, in fact, trash and throw themselves into the hole. Suffice it to say, whenever I play this game, it basically becomes my quest to make sure my little peons never feel that they are trash and belong in the hole. Trash over here, though, small, we'll fill it by $1, medium for 5, large for 25, extra large for 125. Quite a good return. Then shards. Blue shards are usually found after an earthquake. Yellow shards are usually found when a building is destroyed due to durability loss. They are also found after breaking a rock. Now, quickly on durability loss. Every time a building is used in some way, it is losing durability, and we're actively trying to break the durability over here. On that note, I kind of would like a couple more peons. I feel that we need some help to get everything done, so let's go ahead and pop 3 peons there, and I'm also going to upgrade you, pop an extra worker in there. There we go. Oh, look at it. Super fun. You'll notice that some have got happy faces, some less so. Say hi to our friends in here. Bump, bump. There we are. And there we go. Now, the research building, much like every other building, has a minigame. So I want that. Got to try and mark these. When you click on these, they move around like so. We'll just leave that one there. There we go. That's the one that it wants. So let's do that one. Now we want 2 there, 1 there. Now, the thing is, with each of these, if you have a look at the durability, it's 78 right now. Let's keep that up on the screen. Now, 77. Now, the bones, I'm not even sure that the bones are actually that much better. But you notice how that dropped by 2? Durability loss is significantly higher when you complete the minigame. But if we go back in here, that'll actually discuss it for us. So, devices. Most buildings have a device that uses a supernatural source to increase output. I guess that explains the bones. It's supernatural. Okay, so we're mining bones from some sort of hell dimension. I'm sure this is going to work out fine. When the minigame is complete, the next output will produce double the trash and triple the durability loss. As you complete buildings, you discover the information about it, but you have to have completed it once. However, there is a way to find out this information without ever having completed it. If you can get a building up to level 10, when it breaks, you'll get a book. That book will give you this information. So if you can't work out the system, generally it doesn't make it hard for you to work out. But if you are having any trouble with any of the buildings, I will probably show you most of them, if not all of them, in this video. Then you can just get a building up to level 10. He says as if that's an easy thing to do. All right. With all of that, though, I would kind of like some more peons working in here so I can get some more RP. That would be very, very nice. And here we go, the clouds. If we click on the clouds, they produce extra trash. Free trash. It's marvelous. Trash clouds. Now, if you're super lazy, you can wait for the clouds to be over the hole and then just click on it. And that way, your peeps don't need to do a bunch of extra work, which is quite nice because I imagine they don't really like it. Though, that being said, they seem to be, well, actually, considering they get more unhappy over time. Maybe no, they really don't like it. They hate this job. We're forcing them to do an awful job. Hopefully we won't have to have you doing it for very long. We will aim to try and automate this process as quickly as we possibly can. We've got a new quest though. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Moneymaker. I will happily take extra money for having made money. Oh, it's like the real world. Money makes money. Right, let's go ahead and get a little bit more peeps in there. Now, we have lost our catapult, so I do want to place that back. And I would like to try and get it up as high a level as I can. But getting some extra peons was a little bit more useful there. Now, that is going to give me an extra shard, but we possibly can invest already. Yes, we can. We can indeed. I can go for waste. Unlock building upgrade. Can allow houses to produce trash in between cycles the lights turns on. When the light turns on. Sure, I'll spend 50 on that, but I've got 4 levels. I can spend another 300 on it later if I would like to. Over here, we've got 150, and this will give us plus 30 seconds to peon contentment. I would like that, mostly because it leads to the training area. We very much want to get there. It pays to pay attention to what you can unlock further down the tree. There is a big tree, though, so I wouldn't expect you to spend loads of time working all of this out ahead of time. But over here, we can increase the amount of RP generated per worker. We can buy a yellow shard. We can unlock the ability that every 20 minutes, a timer on all abilities is reset. So that could speed things up. Over here, permanent, +1 yellow shard when any building loses durability. For 125 RP, that is huge. But this costs 1,000 to get to. It's going to take us a little while. This one's going to cost us 3 yellow shards, so basically 3 buildings. But look at that. Our first red shard. We get a red shard for any building that is destroyed due to durability loss that we have completed the minigame for. Let's go ahead and build this back up so that our peeps don't get super duper sad, because they will if they are not allowed to rest. There we go. I've completed that once. You only have to complete it once for it to count. There we go. We want to make that full. There we are. Perfect. Right, now with that done... Oh, we've already broken through that rock as well. Fantastic. You know what, though? Actually, that's already in a good enough position. I will leave that there to stop the boulders rolling too far to the side. We are also going to place in a factory, though. We'll get 1 person in there. Actually, we're going to go all the way up to 2. There we are. And let's go ahead and try and fix this. There we go. 3... 4, 5. Let's see how far we can take it. 6, 7, and 8. I'll only take it that far. There we go. That will probably have pulled down the durability quite a lot, yes. So we'll probably get a red shard out of that one relatively soon. Now, if we have a look at help, this will have updated. Red shards are found when a building is destroyed due to durability loss and the minigame has been completed at least once during its lifetime. It'll tell us how many that we've gotten the shards from, which is extremely, extremely useful. Big old cloud right there. Let's get rid of you. There we go. Now we want the research lab back, definitely. And let's take us all the way up to level 4. Now the next level will get us a bunch more stuff, but right now I kind of want to get more peons, honestly. So let's go ahead and invest in that. Ooh, lazy cloud. I approve. Let's get you done. There we go. Marvelous. This is filling very, very nicely. Very nicely indeed. Oh my lord, there's so much rubbish around here. Whenever you rebuild a building, I strongly recommend you complete the minigame just to ensure that, well, actually, I believe you only get 1 red shard from a building, only the first time it ever breaks. So beyond that, it's just in order to break it faster and get more orange shards, which is a completely viable thing to do. And it's absolutely a way to play the game. Right, now let's go ahead and do a couple of quests. I wish there was a way to just go to the quest. Get 1 yellow shard. Have peons throw 500 trash. We've got another one as well. What is it? Another dimension. Obtain a blue shard from getting the first red shard. Can focus building on top. Can focus buildings on top. Oh, that is so useful. I never noticed that before. But this means I can do things like run the various mini games without clicking on the peons. Oh, that is so good. Wow. Why didn't I already know that that was a thing? Probably because I don't pay enough attention to what's happening. That's the answer. I don't like the answer, though. Let's pretend it isn't that answer. Right, so we've got 2 red shards right now, and we have access to the red shard tree. If we have a gander down here, unlock a building, call help from another dimension. Requires 3 red shards. We need 1 more to get to that. But in the meanwhile, I could go ahead and spend 300 on this, or the 3 yellow shards that I've... Oh, actually, I've got 5 yellow shards. Ooh, we could even go for a compressor. No, I think training is more important initially. I could add 30 extra seconds to peon happiness as well, and I'm kind of happy to do that. They can be moving at their top speed for a bit longer that way. We could also get every 5 minutes, all peons are set to full happiness. I'm willing to spend a blue shard on this. That makes me happy, and that's worth it. Right, I can now click this. Is everyone relatively happy? Everyone is relatively happy, so I probably don't need to worry about it right now. But what I would like to do is increase the level of this house once again and immediately get some more peons. This is becoming a very, very focused peon run. Right, we've already got our next earthquake. Notice the chip out of the rock over here. Now we're taking it down even further. Right, okay, we're not far away from getting compressors. So at this point, I'm going to put the houses all the way over here, and you'll see why shortly. I need you to bring in some money quickly before it makes everyone excessively unhappy. Chop, chop. Thank you. Now I need 793. Otherwise, there is a peon who's going to become extremely sad. We do not like that. You know what? I will go ahead and I will pop down a catapult. I can only take it up to level 4, sadly, but this does allow us to get to move the cash just that little bit faster, since they can take it into the storage in the catapult instead. Also, well, there's probably no reason for me to put peons over there just yet. Now I'm going to keep this in reserve, as it will most definitely be useful in keeping my peons from deciding that they are trash. We've only got 2 yellow shards presently, so there's not a lot for us to do just yet, but people are starting to get unhappy. Let's go ahead and boom, there we are, super happy. And a couple went into here. You know what, I'll quickly do the mini game just so that we can ensure that we've got a little bit of extra valuable bones. There we go. Perfect. There we are. No more worries. Everything is fine. Right, over here, I would like the, well, honestly, the research lab first. And we'll invest in that, get up to level 2. And as soon as I have the cash, we're going to invest in the training lab. Though, I guess I could, well, since I don't have the yellow shards yet. How much is the yellow shards for this? I need 4. We're quite a ways away from that then. So I'm going to say training lab over here as well. We're going to invest in that a couple of levels. Get some workers in there. Now the training, this is investing in your peons. Assign workers to different tasks to improve peon abilities. First and foremost, I would like to go for the easy one, speed. That's only going to require 50, and I'm generating 2 per. So we'll continue to invest there. But while that's going down, I would like to spend 2 more of my shots. I know. But if I spend those 2, I can build a new catapult on the map, and this will greatly allow us to move around all of these governments. Look how fast they're going to be able to take all of that in now. That is going to help out enormously. But what about the minigame for the training? It's very simple. It's the barbell here. You just keep going. As soon as the building has produced bones, you're good. I'll just do it once more because I like to. There we go. Do we have any clouds over the hull? We do not. We've got some clouds here though, so I'll just pop that nice and fast. There we are. Perfect. Getting a decent amount of You know what? Increasing that up because it'll throw more trash that way. But we are getting a decent amount of RP coming in. Very happy with this. Now, if we have a gander, this will increase the amount of training points we generate. There's 1,000 there, 1,000 here. I am willing to invest. Down here, 1 max peon per floor of the house. Very nice. Unlocks this building, can allow catapult to throw more trash, 1 per upgrade, or can increase the maximum storage for the catapult and the compressor as well, which is quite useful. It's going to be 1,000 to upgrade to the cannon. Over here, I can increase the cloud output rate, and for 5 yellow shards, I can create a cloud seeder, which is definitely something I would like to get to. But is it the most important thing just yet? You know what? I'm going to get 1 level of house space and see how that's going to improve things. It improves it a lot, actually. We should be able to invest a lot of money and get a lot more peons out here to help us, which would be fantastic. 300 odd there. Let's have a look in here. We've got level 2 speed. Okay, I'm going to continue working on that, though. I see no reason to change this. I might go up to level 5 because that's going to give me another floor and another worker, which means that we will be generating 3 per tick, which would be very, very much appreciated. You can see the this visually shows you how much of the storage on the catapult has been filled, and I love how much information is given to you just through visuals. I really enjoy the art style. I know it's super simplistic. I don't know why it just tickles my brain in the right way, but any kind of pixel graphics seem to tick all of the boxes. All right, let's go ahead. Shall we get another one, or should I? No, I think we invest over here to get an extra worker in there. Now, as I upgrade the levels, I can do more things. I can increase the speed at which we mine the rock, and that is definitely worth doing. But I don't think it's what I want to go for just yet. Now, that blue, we've got 1 max peon working on the rock. That would be useful. I could get more trash there. I could get... With an extra yellow shard, I can get 2 shards out of the rock when it breaks. That would be useful. Sorry, 2 yellow shards, rather. That would definitely be useful. But let's go ahead and get a couple of peeps over here. I strongly recommend you just grab 1 piece of trash. No, come on. Will you please... Oh, my lord. Will you please... Wait. What do you mean I can't... Phantom trash. What do you... Oh. Ah, I see. I can only do that when they're in the foreground. Right, okay. Noted. Don't... Generally, I don't need to interact with the trash. So that's fine. Right, we've got a couple of clouds. Oh, they merge into a big cloud. And the big clouds produce higher value trash. Simple as. There we go. Are my peeps happy? Or they kind of... Yeah, they are actually relatively happy. So I don't need to use the contentment right now. Okay, we've got 1,000. And that is absolutely valuable to me. Well worth me investing over here. Now, the next one's 5,000. So that's not happening for a while. But that extra bit of training is going to be huge. So training point 6. Trash producers 1 per worker. Yeah, each worker is now producing 2 training points. So at this point, I'm going to switch over to carry, because carry is now equal to speed. As you notice, my workers are actually moving quite a lot faster, which is definitely going to help in the long run. A training with low durability was destroyed, and we got the red shard. But we're going to rebuild training. I actually really, really want training nice and high level. Let's continue working on there. I need to get up to 515 to be able to get the final part of that. Notice the different colors now down here and all the bones at the bottom. We will, I guess, probably shouldn't be paying too much attention to the bones. That feels incriminating. But nevertheless, very happy to get all of this leveled up. There we go. And we will continue to rise that one nice and fast. Now, the next one that I would like to invest in, personally, would be the RP generated, as that will bring me that much closer. Getting more yellow is huge. Down there, you permanent convert blue shards into 3 yellow shards. I'm not really sure that that is something I'm going to go for, if I'm honest. Over here, we can increase the peon walking speed permanently. And then content peons will move at the same speed as happy peons. But that is 30,000. It is extremely expensive. I'm not sure we're actually going to have enough money sitting for long enough to ever make that valuable to us. But we can now unlock the temple. Call help from another dimension. I will pick that up because it unlocks access to the rest. This one will open more temples, even more temples, but they need more and more people working in the temple. This one over here, permanent. Create a race strong enough to stop any enemies. No peon needed. I'm just going to get this one out of the way early, because if I wait until the very end of the video, it feels like I'm forcing you to wait to get the important information as the very last thing. That feels like a cheap tactic. This is how you get the good ending. This right here. You have to get the red shots. You have to complete the mini games to get the good ending. Yes, this game has multiple endings. Whether we get the good ending or not, we will see. But you do need an awful lot of investment to get there. But there we go. And this one as well. Perfect. That is wonderful. I'm not going to be buying any yellow shards. Unlock building upgrade can allow some pipes for all buildings to throw output trash directly into the hole. I mean, that might be useful. I'm just not sure I would go for that. I have a bit of a different idea in mind, but I need another 1,000 now because I would like to upgrade my catapults even more. That's going to take some time to get to, though, if I'm perfectly... Oh, we're working on level 2 carry. No. Let's flip over to level 3 speed, pull that one up if we can. And presently it's just a matter of waiting. I guess I could increase this, get a little bit more trash value out of this, and then on the next one we can get another lab worker, so we'll be generating lots of research points as we go. Let's go ahead and pop these. I know I could wait until they're over the hole and that would be faster, but I am impatient. There we go. We've got a new quest. Collect. Build the same building twice. Get a yellow... I like this. Cloudbuster. Destroy a bunch of clouds. 1,000 gold. Yellow Spark. Obtain 7 yellow shards. Get an extra yellow shard. Okay. Blue Spark. Obtain 2 blue shards. Get an extra yellow shard. And there's another one down here somewhere. Ability activation. Use an ability. A yellow shard. My god. Point of discovery. Earn 500 RP. Get 1,000... Okay, that was a lot of quests, actually. My goodness. My peons aren't looking the super happiest, so let's make them a little bit happier. But we do have what I needed, and that is the cannon. Let's go ahead and unlock the cannon. And furthermore, let's go ahead and unlock the rock. I know, I would like to get this. I very much would. But that one can wait a little bit longer. I'm going to unlock the scaffold as well. Can build a scaffolding in front of the rock and increase the number of working peons by 1. I would happily take that. And for 1 yellow shard, I can increase the trash output when the rock is hit. Sure. And in fact, oh wow, that one doesn't increase in cost. It's just 1 yellow shard the whole way. That is going to allow me to really generate quite a lot of trash over here. Very happy with that, but now I can upgrade the cannon even further, or the catapult even further, I should say. We're most of the way to our next fill level. Let's just double check. Yeah, the giant rock is still relatively giant. We're going to need a lot more peons hauling all of this around, though. My lord. We're up to speed 4. I'm happy for them to take this all the way up to 250, and then I'm going to switch over to mining. And we're going to go in that route. I'll go for the most expensive one once it is equal in cost to all of the ones before it, and we'll work down the chain like so. Okay, I'm not going to be super lazy this time. Right, now, what did we rebuild? I think it was this one, so let's just go ahead and get that going. May as well complete this while I'm here. There you go. I'll see if I can find the correct one. There we go. Perfect. Right, let's upgrade you. Pop. And we've now got 3 workers. So again, each worker can catapult quite a lot of trash. There's 6 trash per worker. We've now got 3 of them, so it's 18 trash per shot. And it's got a storage of 45, which is actually quite decent. As we can see over here, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Let's go ahead and pop these clouds nice and easily. There we go. What on earth was that? There was a bone there. I'm a little bit surprised by that one, but sure. I would like to get this one upgraded next. There we go. Get another worker in there. Pulling from the pool of workers constantly. My workers are not in the best of moods, though, I notice, which is distressing me. Right, 2 shards from that. Fantastic. Let's get the catapult back in and immediately level it up as much as we can. Getting the increased shard amount from the boulder and indeed from the buildings is a really, really important thing in my opinion. You want to get that as early as you can so you can get the max bang for buck out of it. The next one that we want to kind of make a beeline for, in my opinion, is the power output, and the reason for that is we're down here. Is that the one? No. Here we are. During earthquakes, hardness. During earthquakes, buildings lose 30% durability instead of being destroyed. Being destroyed by the earthquake doesn't trigger the same results. There are lots of things that only happen if a building is destroyed due to durability loss instead of it simply being shaken to its foundations by the earthquake. So that is something that we really want to focus on if we can get there. Right, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just get a couple more peeps working around. They're carrying 2 now, which is actually quite nice. We're up to 250, so let's switch over to mining. Not that that one is really where we want to be, because that's going to take... Oh, there we go. We've got an earthquake. All right. So if you watch here, when we do this, pop, we don't get any shards as a consequence of that. We get 1 blue shard, at least, but it's not quite what we want. Right, let's go ahead and build up the house as quickly as we can. There we go. Level 6. Good enough. That gives us plenty of peons that we can get out here. Now we want a cannon, a catapult over here. Well, we kind of want the cannon, if I'm perfectly honest. We'll take that one all the way up to level 5. We can get a bunch of people working there. Down here, we're going to want people in there as well, but let's get a catapult first. Upgrade that all the way to level 4. Get 2 peeps working there and 3 peeps working here. There we go. All right, things are moving along nicely. Now at this stage, I'm going to place a training facility over here, and we're going to get a bunch of levels going in there. Now, you notice that the maximum that you can do is limited by the level of the training facility. Let's start work on mining. We want to be able to get through that one super duper fast if we can. Now, at this stage, I want to hold off. It's going to take me a while. I need 2 more. This will break how soon? This will break relatively soon now that the people can actually mine it. So I'm going to hold off. Yeah, no, this one is going down nice and fast. We're going to hold off on that one just a little bit longer so that I can get the 4 yellow shards that I would like, not for the power, but for the compressor. The compressor is going to be a really, really important one. I don't care too much for that. Can will generate more. There we go. We want the vacuum. So I do actually need to grab that one. So I've got access over here. And I can allow the catapult to throw more trash, which I kind of like. Sure, we'll invest in that. How much can I increase it? Actually, quite a lot. It's 175. I'll put a little bit in both of them. This stage now. So 8 trash per worker is quite a lot. That should be able to empty out its storage quite quickly. That being said, there's an awful lot to store in it, so there is something to be said about that one. They're lobbing them all the way down here, getting it all the way into the hole relatively easily. Earthquake 4. We should be able, I think, to get to the power plant in this cycle. I certainly hope so, at the very least. There we go. Just need a little bit more. Only 3% left and we can get the compressor. The compressor is a big deal, as that is going to massively increase the value of all of the trash. And you'll notice that I'm going to have a bit of a pattern here, in that I want my cannons to be just to the right of the compressors wherever possible. All right, got a new quest. Seismic force, trigger 3 earthquakes. Oh, sure, I'll claim that. We've also got breakthrough rocks, claim 1 yellow shard. Very nice indeed. Now it's time for the oh, I've got to wait for the shards to get there. For a second there, I was very, very discombobulated. Right, we're going to pick up the vacuum. Quite an expensive one, this. 2,500. Can pull trash from the left or right side of the catapult. And compressor. Also automatically stores trash in front of the building. Extra peons will be needed, though. Right, we're going to build a left vacuum. That means 1 more peon. There we go. That is now pulling from the left. We're also going to want to build this, get 3 more peons working there. And once again, left vacuum, get an extra peon working there. There we go. Perfect. Right. We're going to want to add in a couple more peons up to 24 because we've just assigned quite a lot of them to various other jobs. As you can see, this is now pulling the trash in as long as it's somewhat close. It's not grabbing from here, but don't worry, we will get to that in just a moment. As soon as they manage to get their little feet working, one in front of the other. How on earth did that trash get all the way over there? That rolled very, very well, it seems. Let's just pop that one there. The peons will walk past the rock in order to gather it, so I feel that it's generally worthwhile bringing it a little bit closer as it just helps them. Right, we're about to get the compressor. There we go. Fantastic. Compressor unlocked and hopefully built. Compressor takes 4 trash that was not compressed and produces a bigger one with more value. Trash produced, 1 per worker, so it produces its own trash as well. Let's pop that in place. And we want a left vacuum. We want an extra peon working there. And then we want to level it up as much as we possibly can. We also want to increase the storage because this one will actually matter. I'm not entirely certain how much. Oh, there we are. It just kind of shows the storage there. And there we go. It's dropping down nice big old chunks. Now, the mini game over here, there are little up and downs that you can do to move gaps around, and you basically just want to line it up to that. So that, for example, that one is a nice and easy one to get on the go. Right, we've gone to mining 2. It's fantastic. We really do want to try and get through this one as quickly as we can so that we can make use of that. But let's also, ooh, I need to get 1 more. That's going to be another 2 yellow shards. Damn blast. How close are we? 67%, 64, 76, 50, and 8. Okay, we're not going to get there anytime soon. So, time for a temple. Let's pop down our temple and get some workers into our temple. There we go. And they shall start summoning help from another dimension. Let's wait for the choir to get here. Oh, actually, let's pop them in front. You can see them there. And that was our help from the other dimension. We had a super peon and drop by and drop off bones. Yeah, the other dimension is definitely some sort of hellscape. I'm just going to say. Their currency is bones and skulls. We haven't seen the skulls yet, but they are there. They will sometimes drop skulls. Mostly bones, though. Thank you very much for your work. I would love it if that little dude would stay in front rather than get shoved behind, but okay. Let's increase this all the way up. Get 3 peeps in there. There we go. Yeah, no, all the spikes. Definitely good vibes. Only good vibes here. There we go. But that should mean that we're getting more and more help from the other dimension. There we go. Notice this is starting to really get pulled apart. We could improve the compressor a little bit more, and I think we shall. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, I could... right now, there isn't that much in the way of trash being collected here. But if we were to look... where is it? There we go. We want to get to this. Unlock building upgrade can allow the compressor to capture flying trash. That one will be a big deal for us. Quite a big deal, in fact. Clone all peons. No, I don't think we need to do that one. To get there, we're going to need quite a lot of RP, so we are simply going to need this to be moved forward a little bit more. Right now, we've got a decent amount of Build up. We do not need to be working on that one any further. I should have clicked off that one a little while ago. My lord, why didn't I notice that? Let's go for speed, and then we'll go to... Well, actually, no. We'll go to carrying first, and then we'll drop down to speed. At least this one is pulling in from the house quite effectively, though. That should do okay for a little while. I guess I could have this one pull from this area here, but honestly, I don't need to. It'll only grab from that side. The ones on this side seem to roll merrily in that direction without too much prompting from me. Let's get the clouds broken up. There we go. And the same over on this side. Can I break that one up as well before it even gets to the ceiling? Yes, I can. Marvelous. Right, let's make everyone happy. That should help things along a little bit. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to increase the house by a bit and then get another 4 peons out and about. That would be a big help. But yeah, we definitely want to switch over from the training to get research. I think. Oh, compressor is down. 2 yellow shards, 1 red shard. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and rebuild all the way up. And we want a left vacuum as well. As soon as I can afford it. It'll take me a few seconds. And there we go. Add an extra peon in there. And we definitely want to take this up an extra floor as well. Get all of that wow, okay, that was extremely valuable trash. That was a very hot color. I like it. Though I don't think it really follows hot and cold. I'm not entirely sure how the colors work, but they do seem to move from like in terms of the color saturation at the very least. But there we go. We've got an extra level of red shards now. We can get a new compressor, and also we can get an extra portal. Let's go ahead and open up the extra portal, and boom, there we go. We've now got yeah, okay, questions, so many questions. But that is now pouring items into the hole for us, so it's going to be very easy to get a little bit more progress done over here. Do I need to upgrade you at all? No, you seem to be lobbing the trash out of there pretty quickly. I wonder if the larger trash counts as just like its coin value, or is it the actual number of trash items? That's an interesting question. Nevertheless, let's see. Where would I like to invest over here right now? No, I don't need to buy a yellow shard. I wouldn't necessarily mind investing this one just to get that one all the way up. 15,000 to get the next mining tier. I don't think we're getting there. Catapult is gone. Big sad, but 2 yellow shards. Very happy with that at the least. Let's go ahead, rebuild this as quickly as we can. There we go, and open that up a little bit. I could go ahead and invest a couple of times in the throw strength of this building. I am actually really struggling with peons now, though. We do not have that many running around able to help move things for us. So time for a house upgrade. No, it wasn't. I'm not used to having... what a misplay. I'm not used to having bought house space yet. I usually don't until a little bit later. Big set. Okay. Reduce the cost of peons by 50%. That would be huge. That would be big. It would cost me 2,000 gold and then 2 yellow shards. Well, you know what? I've got on the way 2 yellow shards, and I can easily get to 2,000 gold, I think. So I'm just going to hold on. We're going to... Oh, there's a skull. We're going to let these 2 shards be thrown in there, and hopefully by that time I will have the necessary number of gold coins needed to unlock access to that tech. So I need the 200 to increase the initial peon count. That's got a max of 5 tiers, that is. And then I can get peon half, and that one can be repeated. We might see where that one goes. So I would very much like to get a new building as well relatively soon. If for no other reason, then I will gain access then to doing the red... accessing the red shards. I don't think there is a minigame on this one for some reason. I don't see anything interactable. Strange. Not all of them have them, though, to be fair. We do, in fact, have enough shards, so let's go ahead. Pop. Perfect. No, only another 2. Ooh. I think that's probably something that I should very heavily invest in. Very, very heavily invest in, because we're going to need a lot more peons as we move forward. An awful lot more peons as we move forward. But we're almost finished with earthquake number 4 at this point, thanks in part to the portal there. The next one will give us another portal. Yeah, open a portal to another world needs 2 peons. Open another portal to another world needs 3 peons. That one shouldn't be too bad, but we are going to need a new building type in order to make that happen. I think we can get there. There shouldn't be any particular reason why we can't. Let's go ahead and get a couple more peeps working over here. Get those peons out there, moving stuff around. We are doing relatively well on the carry. People can carry 3 at the moment. We're not that far off being able to carry 4, but I do not think they're going to get the chance to get there. And we're not going to be building this next turn. We're going to be building a research area. There we go. And done. A new entry has been added to the help section. Oh, really? Let's go to the help section. Clogged. When all pipes are blocked, trash cannot come out. But it massively increases the cloud generation and durability loss, for that matter. Okay, fair enough. We've got a little bit of information now on the compressor. But let's start off. Catapult, compressor, house, in that order. And now let's upgrade the house a bit. Let's just make sure that we're not losing any peons here. I would like one in here, left vacuum, another one, and then upgrade that a bit. We'll get a couple of workers in there. And then very much the same over here. Let's push that one as much as we can. Left vacuum, there we go. That will do. Fantastic job there. New quest has been added. Let's go ahead and check out this. High roller, earn 50,000, get 1,000. I swear, the whole money makes money thing. 5 blue shards, get an extra yellow shard as a consequence of that. I approve. And catapult, use a catapult building 1,000 times. Call an airplane to drop trash. Normally this is called war crime. But okay. There we go. That everything is rolling where it needs to. Let's go ahead and break that one down if we can. Thank you. Right, let's have a quick gander in here then. Now, I can unlock a new ability here, but I'm not too fussed on that one just yet. Could also unlock the ability to get a bulldozer, but I don't think that's where we want to be. Get more clouds off the cannons. Again, not really where we need to be with that one. I think instead we're going to be saving up for the allow the compressor to compress larger amounts of gubbins. So we're going to go with a research lab here. I'm going to go with a catapult here. Can I build another compressor? I can indeed. Let's do it. Let's put that one all the way up, get left vacuum, get a bunch of people working there. That is going to do a massive amount of work for us. And then do exactly the same over here. Hopefully we can get up to the left vacuum amount of 1,000 quickly. We should be able to, I imagine. There we go. And now both of our cannons are effectively throwing much, much more valuable amounts of trash into the hole. Perfect. Let's just make sure we've got enough peons in each one. Yep, we do. Right, okay, time to get all of this leveled up and get as many people working in here as we possibly can. The free roaming peons can help with the bits and bobs that just kind of drop in between the two. That shouldn't be a problem. Are they happy? They look happy. Yeah, they've got little smiles on their faces. I'm going to count that as being happy. There we go. Let's just pull that down. And you can see over here now, we are slowly, via earthquakes, which, you know, it's kind of metal to be carving a monument using earthquakes. We are carving a peon out of the monument over there. Right, we'll get our last peon here. There we go. Very nice. And I'm going to just invest a little bit more in the research lab moving forward. Now, as we can see, we should be able to break through this relatively quickly thanks to the compressor. But I'm going to step away for a moment and refill my teacup. And when we return, we will hopefully have something more to report. And I'm back. Sorry about that. It is still roasting hot where I live, and well, by my standards, I realize there are places much warmer in other parts of the world. But I was designed for cold weather survival, not for warm weather. Nevertheless, I was desperately needed a drink because I'd already drunk all of my drink I started the recording with. Right, let's get all of these clouds busted up. There is a way to automatically do that, and that is with the cloud seeder, which we will hopefully get to relatively soon. Right, let's have a look in here. Perpetually full. That is not grand. Compresses 3 trash, compresses into +5 value, trash produced 4. The way the compressor works, if we have a quick gander in here, compresses trash into 1 larger, higher value trash item. Now, if we upgrade this, increases the value of medium trash generated by the compressor, which is something we want, and then all trash in the hole will give extra cash. That is very much something we want. And when any building is destroyed due to the durability, it produces medium trash. This also would be very, very good for us, for very obvious reasons, hopefully. As for this, permanent compressed medium trash, this would allow us to compress medium trash, but not many places produce medium trash just yet. So instead, what we want to look for is we want to allow us to capture flying trash, then compress 8 trash instead of 4 into 2 larger ones, and also over here convert actually no, that's not the one. Allow the compressor to process garbage that was already compressed. So from one compressor into another compressor becomes a possibility. That would be very, very useful. Right, let's go ahead and increase the amount of people using this, and I'm going to massively increase the storage, as that's going to allow us to pull even more away from there and generate lots and lots more, which will then get loaded into the catapult there. And let's get all that trash from the sky. Same over here. This one doesn't do nearly as much work, but that's fine. Let's try and get that up. I need 1 more. How many peeps have we got running around? Not too many, but we don't really need that many. Oh, they have finished breaking down the next rock. Fantastic. Let's get 3 working on this one. And once again, we want to slide this across there just as a bit of a buffer. Put another one next to it as well, because it'll reduce the wandering, the force of any trash that manages to make it that far. There we go. That is fantastic. We've now got room to go ahead and either build a training or another temple. And honestly, I'm in favor of training myself. I would rather improve our peons than anything else, and we can start on speed there. Now, unfortunately, I have only 1 spare peon, which is not really many spare peons, let's be perfectly honest. I think it is probably worth our time to invest in upgrading the house once again. That being said, picking this up is going to allow me to do a little bit more stuff, and that is turning on capture over here. So now what you'll notice is that the catapult will sometimes shoot trash such that it will land in this compressor. So it'll piggyback from one catapult to the next, going through the compressors as an intermediary, which produces much nicer chunky trash, which gets loaded into the next catapult, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth, which is actually very, very nice indeed. And we've already lost this compressor. My goodness, that did not take much time. Now let's turn on the left vacuum as soon as I can, which will not be very long, thankfully. And there we go. And then we will turn on capture just as soon as I'm able. But we've got 3 shards over here, which is actually quite amazing. And an awful lot of clouds. You know what? I'm starting to think I know what I want to save up for next. And that would be a cloud seeder. Now that needs 5 shards, but I think it's going to be very much worth the effort of getting to. Still, it does take a lot. We need 500 RP to unlock medium compression. We need 4 yellow shards to compress 8 trash instead of 4. That would be particularly nice, because we'd be able to shift much more out of the storage of the compressor. This one requiring 5 yellow shards as well would be obviously very, very valuable, because then the compressed shards over here would be dropped into this compressor, which would be compressing them into large. And as you no doubt remember from the trash, medium to large is a factor of 5. So it would take 4 and it would give me 5 times as much value. So we're just creating more trash value. There we go. Let's get that one broken up a little bit. Though we do now have enough to upgrade. Ooh. We've got a couple of options right now, actually. We could go for more. I think we go for TP. We'll go for training points instead. I think that one's the more important one there. Yeah, no, definitely. And on that note, we will level it up a little bit more. There we go. We need a little bit more to be able to get up to the next level of speed. One thing I wish the game would do is that if you've completely maxed one out, it automatically moves to the next one. But you know, that would make the game even more idle. This feels like it's intentionally only a quasi-idle game. It kind of sits in this middle spot. Now let's break all of this up. There we are. Right, how much can we invest in? There we go. Let's use the 4 shards there. Double the output of compression. 2 blue shards. Well worth it in my opinion. Let's get that on the go. Right, with that done, I think going for the cloud seeder is definitely an option, but thinking about it, every time 4 small pieces of trash are generated from any building, they will be combined into one medium. Ooh, that could be quite useful, actually. Permanent. With scaffolding, trash is thrown to the right. Let's turn that one on. And the reason for that is that I'll stop having to worry about the trash getting over there. They'll always be thrown in this direction, which will mean it'll always get hoovered up by the compressor. My goodness, the amount of clouds. If I want to automate this, then getting the cloud seeder is really quite an important building to go for next. Ah, my lord. But at this stage, I would like to upgrade the house a little bit and then go ahead and just dump a good amount of cash into some more peons. They will be able to massively help us. And while that's happening, we could probably upgrade to another level, get an extra worker in here. That would be quite a lot of points then being generated. Now that's going to give us a lot more levels in speed. I'm not entirely certain that that's the best bang for buck at this point. I think it would probably be better for me to go for carrying capacity right now, but we can always see. Wow, look at the color though. At this point, way more of the trash going in there is of much higher value thanks to the compressors. That is a huge boon. Let's have a look. What's your storage like? Doesn't tell me. I guess it's just that it shows it on the front. Fair enough. Over here it is, I mean, it's relatively full, to be fair. Certainly could go a little bit further, but I will allow this one to be finished off and then, well, no, actually, we're going to move on to carrying, I think. Makes sense. Rebate. Unlocked at level 7. Plus 1% building upgrade cost reduction per peon in the building. So in this one, it would be 4%. That doesn't seem like that big of a benefit. I think that's probably one that I'm going to get to last. I could be wrong, but doesn't feel like it's as powerful as some of the other options that I could go for instead. At this point, I would like to get an extra peon again. We're taking this all the way up. I would like to get up to 12k and get a level 10 house if I could, but it's not a huge objective there. I would like, before I spend more cash though, is to probably grab this. So the next time a building is broken down, that would be quite good to go for. Ooh, 20% the peon walking speed. Well worth it. Now, the other thing is there's so many different things. Going for the cloud seeder would automate the getting cash out of this, but that is definitely something I can do myself. Cloud Seeder would obviously, you know, take the pressure off. Ooh, there we go. 2 shards. Very nice. Let's get another catapult on the go. And upgrade that at least to level 7. And we want a vacuum, so we need another person working that. There we go. That'll do nicely. But getting the power plant, it would take us on the way to being able to get more yellow shards. And yellow shards seem to be much, much more important than almost anything else, realistically speaking. So I think, as much as I want to grab this, saving up the 5 shards I'm going to need for that, because I'm also then going to need another 2 here, so that's 7 and 500 RP. Yeah, that is quite a lot is going to have to be invested into that. So instead, let's continue trying to take our research lab up. And the next 5,000 that I have, I will invest in increasing the amount of RP that we get. Though the trash value here is actually quite impressive. Trash value is now $8 per bag. They're small bags, so they would be loaded into the compressor and then generate some quite expensive trash out of that, which I would be very, very happy to get hold of. We only need 2 more trash. Let's have a look. Is anything particularly close? Oh, well, there we go. Research lab. Fair enough. Perfect. Oh, really? Okay, fine. Let's do the earthquake. Pop. Grab the house straight away. And get that as leveled up as I can. At least to the point that we're not hemorrhaging any peons. We want catapult, compressor. We want that heavily upgraded. Left, capture. That'll do. And then everything else into this. Again, left. There we go. I could increase the amount of throw, but there's really no need. That is more than good enough between the 2 of them. Right, at this stage, before I do anything else, I'm just going to take some time and break down these clouds. Also, that gives my peons some time to move all of the shards along. There we are. So we will most definitely on this cycle get the power plant up and running. There are probably lots of ways that you can optimize your build to get the most resources, like yellow shards, blue shards, etc., out of a given run, because there is a finite time to it, because of the fact that the once you've broken this down enough, the game simply ends, and in my experience, that is long before you had time to do everything you might have wanted to do. Right, we're gonna have a building here, which could, in this particular instance, be a lab. Let's go ahead and pop you in there. Also, let's go ahead and increase this twice, maybe. Ooh, 9,000 is quite a lot of cash to put down, but there we go. Let's grab that one as well. We're gonna grab you. 10% value of trash when any building is manually destroyed. 10% value of trash when any building loses all of its durability. Now I just need 1 extra shard. Now this is over here a research. I'm going to place a catapult over here. Now I know it might seem a bit crazy that I'm not putting a compressor, but trust me, there is method to my madness, because now we have access to the power plant. Hopefully we'll be able to get that. There we go. Perfect. Right, so we've got 1 research lab here. I'm just going to pop 1 person in there. We're going to place 1 training here. Pop 1 person in there. Oh, actually, I'm going to have to level this up in order to get anything of any particular value going up from this. There we go. Let's get that one going. But time for the power plant. Let's zoom right in. First and foremost, you can probably already guess immediately how that's going to work. And then we're going to pop 1 person in there. And now it's reset. This resets constantly, and it is literally just luck on how easy the puzzle is to solve. I'm sure we've all played around with these kinds of puzzles in the past. Ooh, no, I'm gonna have to go this way. But you don't get a lot of time to solve it, which is sometimes a bit of a pain. But the main thing with the power plant, For every peon working there, you can put something into the effects. It spreads this effect to nearby buildings. So assign workers to boost surrounding buildings, stops durability loss. We don't want that. Increases clouds. Don't want that. Value. Assign workers to boost the surrounding building, increases the value of trash, increases the amount of trash. Don't want any of those. Keep going. I need one more. Level 7. Pop. There we go. Assigned workers to boost surrounding buildings. Unlocked at level 7. +1 gained to RP or TP. In my opinion, the correct way to use this building is always to have it betwixt a research area and a training area, and just dump all of your points into increasing the amount of RP and TP generated. It is as simple as that, in my opinion. It is the best thing to do. And also you get a red shard from it as well at some point. But, you know, you can have more of them and spread them around and get different stuff on the go. But that, in my opinion, is just so much better than pretty much anything else you could do with it. I'd actually like to increase the mining speed right now. If we can get through this a lot faster, I'm going to be way happier. Have we got this able to collect? If I increase the storage, then things thrown from over there will almost certainly be able to have room enough to fit in. We're going to increase the storage. We're going to keep increasing the storage. We're going to invest heavily in increasing the storage over here, as much as we're able to, at the very least. Not as much of the same color. The colors are not as saturated right now, but we're seeing some very different ones, like the cyan is quite nice. There we go. Let's get through here. And I'll check back on that in a little bit. Right, that should work quite well for us. But I need one more yellow shard, and that will give us increased range of the power building. We don't actually need that one, but what we really want is right down there. Now, I guess I could convert one blue shard into a bunch of yellow shards. Sure. Okay, let's grab this one. And finally, pop. There we go. Now, I'm not quite sure what would happen. Lose 30% durability instead of being destroyed, plus 10% for each extra level. Okay, well, that doesn't... Getting them destroyed faster, while that is helpful, isn't especially important to me right now, I will confess. Building plus 10% value of trash when any building loses all durability. I mean, that is quite useful. But I think we can wait on that one. Now, the next things that I'm going to want to look for are increasing the compressor over there. And also the recycler. So I'm going to need 3 blue shards. I'm going to need a couple, 2,000 in total to be able to set up the compressor. Outside of that, though, we're going to use 250 here, plus 0.5 cloud output rate for all buildings. And we want 5 yellow shards to unlock the Cloud Seeker. We also have the helicopter over here as well. Oh, power building already gone down, my lord. That did not take much time, did it? Let's invest all the way and get the 4 peeps working on this. There we go. Would that really be that much value to me? Not particularly, I don't think. I don't feel that we really need to push that one much more. I would like an extra person working there, though. How are we doing on getting through this? Oh, we're getting through that very quickly. I am quite happy with that. Let's get a couple more peeps working in there as well. Got loads of RP, loads of cash, and plenty of training coming our way. I will allow one more level of mining. How much are we getting right now? 17 training points. That's actually kind of amazing. But as soon as we've got mining 4, I'm going to switch over to carry, I think, as that gets me the most bang for buck, I feel. That being said, I would not mind increasing the house by an extra level. Let's get rid of these clouds as well. There we go. And our next shard is available, which will be immediately invested over here to the extra portal. Well, you know what? We only need one more red shard, which we would be able to get from the Cloud Seeder. So maybe we are going to be able to get the good ending after all. Not too bad. All things said and done, not too bad. There we go. Let's break these down. I need one more shard to be able to unlock the cloud seeder, though, which is a bit frustrating, but oh well. I'm sure we'll cope somehow. Right, let's increase the size of the house. At this stage, I am so tempted to go ahead and reduce the cost by 50% again, but I will resist. I will resist, as we are only just there. We are just there. Though, that being said, I will have a quick look at durability. We've got 15% there, 26 here, 79, 80, 59, and 56. We've got 2 shards coming relatively soon over here, but I'm going to wait on that one. I don't think we should push our luck too terribly much. My good lord, there is a lot of trash over here. Wow. Okay, getting another compressor down here is super important. We're almost at 8% actually on the rock there as well, so I suppose we're not that far off being able to get quite a few things unlocked, all things considered. Now, do we want to go for another compressor, or would we want to go for a cloud seeder? That is a very important question indeed. I might actually replace this with a cloud seeder. The catapult itself doesn't add any extra value to throwing things down. It's just it does shorten the trip to getting the cash into the hole, which feels like a very important thing to do. We will see though. We've got 1% over here, so as soon as that's cleared up enough for us to just get a couple more attacks in, we should be able to get the shards. There we go, and immediately set this one up. There we are. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to put another catapult down here. That's fine. Let's go ahead and level this one up nice and high. Once again, get the vacuum in. Increasing storage also quite useful, I would say. Just make sure that we can get everything down here as quickly as possible. There we go. That way this catapult will continually move it down there. And then another compressor. Left vacuum. We don't need the capture on this one because it's not capturing from a previous catapult, so this should be fine. This will allow us to dig through this area stupidly fast, which is ultimately why I went for this one instead. I feel that this one's going to be the better option. Actually, that's already full. Okay, fine. I will start investing heavily in the storage then, and make sure that we can get as much in this as possible. There we go, and the shards are on their way. In fact, they are already there, so let's go ahead and upgrade, rather unlock the cloud seeder. Clouds generate bigger trash, would be very nice. However, I could also set up a better rock throw. Oh no, here we are. We can compress to medium trash now as well. That is quite useful. 10% of money converted to trash during an earthquake. It's quite a nice one. Or I can increase the durability loss during earthquakes. I don't think we're going to go for that one. I don't think that's going to be strictly necessary. +2 to manual click power on clouds, sure. +1 to particle strength, sure. Particles now hit one more cloud. That will make more sense once we've actually got the cloud seeder. The main thing is that I can now pop the clouds manually much faster. That one did get away though. Actually, no, it didn't. Never mind. There we go. These are some chunky clouds right there. Very much approved. I'll just break all of these down over here. There we go. Getting those out of the way. Marvelous. Right, we're sat on 3 red shards. Yellow shards. Sure, let's go ahead and unlock that one. There we go. Increase the max level of cloud seeders and add an extra drone. Let's pick that one up, and then this drones will work on both sides. I know I've not built the building yet. Don't worry. The earthquake is just around the corner, so we will most definitely get that one on the go. How is training right now? Wow. Okay, so I took my eye off the prize. That's on me. Damn it. On the plus side, we're going to be able to generate quite a lot of trash from the boulder. We might even get all the way over here if we're very, very lucky. We will see how that goes. I would like more peons, though, to help out. They're getting very expensive now, but that should be okay. There's no reason not to have this combo here. This is far, far too valuable. However, there is the option of increasing the range of the power building. Oh no, you still... The issue here is that I've got such a large area. I've got 4 buildings that aren't being collected in any way. I think what might be better is to have this be 3 buildings. Have a catapult compressor. Have the research, power, training, catapult, compressor, house. I think that might be the better way to do it, ultimately. However, I will forestall training for now. Oh, that was good timing. In favor of getting a cloud seeder up and running. Just at least have one of those on the go going into the next earthquake, just so you can actually see how all of that works. Yeah, training with too low durability was destroyed. Never mind. You know what? Speak of the devil. Sure, cloud seeder. Let's get you leveled up nice and high and get plenty of drones out there. Now that is clogged, so this is not going to be able to output. But just to demonstrate, you can probably already guess. Yes, literally that game the whole way through. And it has to be in that very specific setup. There you go. But that is now complete. So we will get a red shell from this. But look at the drones. And they go along and they just do their work. And they see the clouds, causing the clouds to rain trash. It's very, very nice. Very glorious. I think those 2 shards there kind of earmarked. We will be, and I would... 1 RP when a cloud is destroyed. Wasn't even aware that was a thing. Very happy to use it though. But that will... I'm going to spend that on increasing the... or rather reducing the cost of getting extra peons. But yes, I think having 3 buildings is probably the maximum. 4 buildings results in this, which is not at all tenable. I definitely want to have 3, then another catapult and a compressor. So our house will be moved all the way down to the back. Generally speaking, I want the catapult compressor over there, but this will do for now, I think, without too much trouble. That being said, how many times could I increase this? Increase the range? Only once. Okay. So I would say then this one, yeah, it can reach this far. Don't need it on the whole. But now you can see why having them seed clouds on the way back as well is very useful. Ah, but look at that. So many shards. That was glorious. Right. That is my cloud seeder. That is the research. I'm going to destroy this one manually. We'll go ahead and put a compressor there. I want a research lab. I want a training. I want a power. We are going to destroy the cloud seeder. Yes, really. We are going to build a catapult. We're going to destroy this compressor and place the compressor right there, and then place a house and then level that up as quickly as we possibly can all the way to level 10. There we go. That should stop everyone from losing their mind There we go. I should not have bought all of that. Oh my lord. I just went ahead and just spent the cash because I had it. Like it was burning a hole in my pocket. Let's go ahead and level that up as many times as we can. Now that's a much more reasonable cost there. Right. With that, let's go ahead and very heavily level this up. Left vacuum and capture as soon as I can. There we go. Job's good. We want workers over here getting me that fantastic RP. We want workers over here getting me all of the training. I do need to get this one leveled up relatively fast. There we go, just so that I can get something turned on. And of course we want workers in here as well, and to level this one all the way up to the point where we can assign extra points to our buildings, which is unfortunately 2 levels away. I believe that is at yeah, level 7. So we do have a fair old bit to go, but we can make that work, I'm sure. Let's get someone in there. We're going to want a couple of peeps working over here. There we are. And we want left. There we go. And then just get a few peeps working in there as well. Takes a little bit of time to get everything back up and running after an earthquake, but we are doing a lot more with each level, so it kind of makes sense. Right, let's go ahead and check on quests, because I likely have a couple that I can collect. 1 yellow shard, 5,000. Yellow shard and a blue shard. A blue shard. And that's the lot. Do we have a stray red shard? Oh no, I broke the cloud seeder myself. That's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Oh well. Let's go ahead and just finish that off there. Get all of the extra points coming in. I can increase house space. I will use 2 shards to get the last level there. And is there anything we want to do over here? Well, yes, I want to save up 1,200 to get both sides on the cloud seeder. It's going to take me some time, but we will get there. At this point, let's just invest heavily to get those research points on the go. And we can also get plenty of new peons out here to help me load everything up. Getting up to carry, well, I mean, every point of carry makes each peon worth an extra peon, effectively. So it seems like a very reasonable one to invest heavily in. There we go. Now, we're getting very close to this. Hopefully we can reach that before the end of the game, as I would very much like to show you what that unlocks. We've got quite a few clouds there. Wow, they were worth a lot. If you're going to invest heavily in Cloud Seeder, I feel that you would end up wanting to really invest in all of the tech that gives more clouds. Seems to make the most sense, ultimately. Let's get a couple more on the go. There we are. That's going to help out massively. Yeah, now that's perfect. That's moving so much of this around now. That should allow us to be able to dig through this very quickly. And furthermore, I would like to increase this. That would increase the storage a little bit more. That way I can shift even more away from the scaffolding. That being said, do I want to invest in that? No, I want to get both sides on for the Cloud Seeder first, I think. Before workers, rock outputs medium trash when possible. Would be quite useful to get up to. Now, one thing you haven't seen, a new quest has been completed, is what happens when a level 10 building breaks down. I did mention that books are generated, but books have further uses than just unlocking player knowledge, like literally letting you know how to complete the quest. They can be spent. They are a resource in and of themselves. Use a compressor building 1,000 times, call an airplane to drop some trash. Sure, I will happily accept that. Very happily, in fact. There we go. Yeah, it's not very high value trash, but still, I will happily put it to use. Right, there we go. We are actually getting up towards the 15k we're going to need in order to unlock this. And we have the yellow shards I would need to unlock that. So we're actually quite close to a couple of different things all unlocking at the same time. Something I would be very, very pleased to see. Now, if we have a look over here, we can see that we're getting to the end. I think we might... Yeah, there's only 8 earthquakes. So we have 2 cycles to get the good ending. I suspect we're going to get it. We do need the Cloud Seeder to break, though, for that to happen. We need 1 more red shard and at least 2 more building spots. It would be nicer to get extra red shards, so if I'm honest, that would be very, very nice, in fact. Yeah, sure, an extra worker there would be wonderful. We can really upgrade the storage as well, so we can really start shoving things in there. Marvelous. Extra worker over here as well. That will allow us to get carry up even further. Right, I can now go ahead and unlock both bi-directional cloud seeding. Got the Gatling gun, but I don't really feel that we need it all that much. Actually, no, that's not entirely true. This one is definitely getting quite full, so having a little bit more room in the storage would mean that we don't see people running past it to carry trash elsewhere like that. That could be achieved by just upgrading that, because it gives us 9 max storage each time. And upgrading this, especially considering we've got 5 workers. If this increases the amount thrown by 1 per worker, then that one will help us empty the storage extremely quickly. There we go, that's looking a lot healthier now. My goodness, these clouds. There we go, let's go ahead and break all these down. Also, let's get some bliss on the way. Yeah. That is a gigantic cloud. There we are. Perfect. Right, how are we doing down here? Oh, fantastic. Okay. Let's get 3 people working over there. And finally the cloud seeder. And we will level that up aggressively. There we go. Now the cloud seeder, one of the things to know about it is the drones will always return to this point from what I'm aware. So having the cloud seeder as far back as you possibly can is probably a good move, all things said and done, as that will allow the cloud seeder drones to sweep the largest amount of space. But realistically, if you have it at the very front, then most of the clouds it sweeps are going to be in this area, so quite a lot of their gubbins will fall straight into the hole anyway. So it could be more efficient to do it that way, if I'm honest. We are going to need so many more people over here. My lord, we're going to need a lot more people over there. How are we doing on carry? We're up to carry 7, which is absolutely bonkers. Each peon able to carry 7 piles of trash, whether those are small piles or big piles. We're also going to want to do the quest again. Let's quickly do that. There we go. That way, when this breaks down now, we will get the red shard that we need from it. How are the cloud seeders going? Oh, those drones are doing absolutely fantastic. Okay, well, that is a problem that we're not going to have to worry about again. Do we want to upgrade this any further? No, I think we just want to invest in the storage space, honestly. Same down here. Actually, no. No. Looking at it, yes, we do. In fact, and we also want to invest in the throwing as well, just so that we can empty that storage out just a little bit faster. But other than that, things are looking quite nice. Yeah. And now that the cloud seeders are done, this is quite idle at this point. Mostly it's going to just be rebuilding things as they break, which they do and will very often. This one's going to take some time. Is there any visual representation of their durability? It doesn't look like it, sadly. That would be quite useful. That would save a lot of time, actually. Well, I don't need to convert that. Let's allow the compressor to compress more things. And for each durability level of any building, reduce its level up cost by 5. You know what? Kind of like that. Every 5 minutes, reduce the durability of all building by 10%. That one isn't as immediately useful to me. I mean, I can see a use for it, don't get me wrong, but I just don't really rate that one too high. 13,000 for each of these now. I could also increase the rock throw, and now that I've got... Well, let's go ahead and rebuild that. Now that the rock is a little bit further away from the nearest compressor, it makes sense to do. Let's get everyone working in there. And a cloud seeder has already gone down, and the red shard has been collected. Fantastic. Right. Now that that's done, do I want to keep the cloud seeder around? Yeah, kind of. Let's go ahead. We've got time. There we go. And that was doing a very, very good job of getting us closer to our goal, ultimately. So, on that note, we've got 18,000. So let's go ahead and invest a little bit more in RP generation again. 17,000 for the last level. Fair enough, that shouldn't be too hard. I will increase the amount of time that my peons are happy as well. And particles now hit one more cloud. Sometimes when the clouds are stacked on each other, that can be a little bit of a problem, as it won't be able to get through both clouds. So that is a nice little update there to work on that for us. And let's go ahead and grab... There's one more that we need to get. I'm going to leave this last little bit to the cloud seeders. They should easily be able to do it. Wow, look how much they are carrying now. Well done, little dudes. Okay, well, to be honest, I guess, sure. Okay, let's invest in mining. Per peon in a... well, so is it in the building that it's reducing or in any building? Ooh, that is a very interesting possibility. It could be across all buildings, in which case that would definitely start to be valuable to me. I may have to look into that. Everything looks fine there. I could increase the throw amount a bit here, but this doesn't seem to be getting full fast enough for me to worry about. I'll just increase the storage instead. That way it can definitely handle everything that this is throwing at it. How about over here, though? This one does need a little bit more room, but that's fine. We will get there. Right, now we have the ability to build the final level of the temple. Create a ray strong enough to stop any enemies, no peon needed. Open a portal to another world as well. Up here we've got increase the size of generated trash from portals, and the portal will produce RP, which would be very, very nice to get, certainly. Probably more valuable to me right now than the cloud seeder. Still, I think I'll wait on it. I wouldn't mind getting at least speed and carry up to level 9 each. I'm not entirely certain that we're going to be able to get it all the way up. Actually, you know what? Let's invest in speed. Let's try and get speed all the way up and see if we can't get all of those maxed out. It'll be a bit of a push, but I think it's worth it. Now I need 1,500 to unlock the ability to compress large trash in the compressor. I could get more peons at this point. And let's have a look. What are the other options for us? I could simply increase the amount of clouds being generated. In fact, I could increase the amount of RP generated by clouds as well. Oh, wow, I took my eye off the prize for a second. Okay, there we go. Did anything break? No, nothing broke. Okay, fair enough. That's pretty impressive, actually. Where are the drones? The drones are setting off again from the very beginning. I will help out just a little bit. There we go. Now, I think I could, with 10 yellow shards, I'd be able to buy a red shard. Well, I mean, I guess I could. We could purchase that red shard in order to start producing a bunch of extra RP from portals. That might not be a bad idea, all things told. But for now, though, let's go ahead and get these. With 4 workers, the rock will output large trash. Let's get all 4 people working over here and increase the range of this. There we go, that's fantastic. This gets all the way over to the compressor now, which is going to mean that this is largely left free of trash, which is going to be very, very useful. And we are getting extremely close to our goal. Right, 82% durability. I need to break that down a bit, but we will get there. And as for... well, I mean, I can upgrade the compressor a little bit. Not as much value there. I'll turn on capture as well, just in case this technically counts as airborne, but usually hitting the ground by the time it's there. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Right, Cloud Seeders are doing an amazing job right there. And for me, let's go ahead and there we go, perfect. Right, unlocked everything I wanted in terms of the compressor at the very least. And, ooh, a research lab is down. Does that bother me? And the power lab is down. Okay, maybe both of those bother me. Sure, we will rebuild. Oh my god! No, everything is breaking. Why? Well, I know why, but there's a lot happening all at once. Okay, it was distressing. Right, we want left vacuum capture. Let's get everyone working there and buff out that storage space. Thank you. Lots of peeps working in here. So much mass. Look at the size of those trash bags. Those are huge. Let's get that all the way down. Is there... yeah, one more worker if we go for this one. So let's do it. And then beyond that, it's just trash. Don't need that. We've got 12. Okay. With that, I'm simply going to buy a red shard and grab the ability to produce RP with that. We will then massively upgrade this catapult. Left vacuum. And 5 in throw and as much in storage as I can. That should... oh my lord, look at those things. Oh, that's very, very good. Gigantic sacks of trash. Right, well, we are racing through this this level now. That is actually a little bit scary. That's happening way faster than I was expecting. We are making some good time. Some very good time, actually. And considering that, will we have time enough to get through this? I am growing a little bit concerned. In that case, I may well want to say goodbye to the lab. Cloud Seeder is down. You know what? That's fine. Temple will replace it. Okay, that works out for me. We are going to go all in on the temple. There we are. We've got 3 portals opened up. Now, what I would like is if we can open this up, I would like to get another red shard. We can force that issue by continually solving the puzzle. And that will, in effect, drive it towards being broken. Given this, let's go ahead... do I really need... you know what? No, I don't. We're going to destroy the research facility. We're going to put in the Cloud Seeder. I enjoy being lazy. Simple as that, really. And this lets me be maximum lazy. But the drones will only start here, so these clouds will actually, in a way, thinking about it at this point, having this a little bit further along does work, because the clouds have more opportunity to grow into large clouds by combining as the smaller clouds reach the sky level, the sky limit. Let's see if that will trigger that. There we go. And then more will join, and potentially these clouds will turn into the giant clouds. So having the cloud seeders start a little bit further along just means that we've got a little bit more push on that. Right, as we, well, you know what, let's go all in. New quests, let's have a look. Earn 500,000, thank you very much. Another quest besides. Get 10,000 research points. Use a house building 1,000 times. Calling an airplane. Very well. We've got so much money. Wow. Sure, I'll take that to the next level there. We will also increase the amount of value that we're getting out of the money that's falling into the hole. And sure, let's increase the overall value as well. Okay, that's very nice. At this point, let's go ahead and unlock the helipad. Increase the max level of the helipad and add an extra helicopter. Can increase the amount of trash generated by the helicopter. The helicopter will arrive periodically and drop trash. All these things are quite wonderful. But I don't think we're going to get there, if I'm perfectly honest. I somehow doubt it. Oh, we didn't quite manage to get all the way either. That's sad in its own little way. But as you can see, particle effects. Right, at this point, let's just go ahead and throw down the helipad. See what we can do with it. Let's increase the amount of workers. We can increase the amount of trash delivered by the helicopter when it drops by. So as you can see, the helipad itself produces a chunk of trash. Helicopters are going to wander off and then collect trash and then move back through. But honestly, we almost didn't get the happy ending. Oh my lord, we actually came quite close. There we go. Oh, we've got one more level. Never mind. Okay, this will be the end. The statue is waiting. Fill up the hole one more time to reach the statue. I was quite concerned. Not gonna lie that we weren't gonna reach it, but in the end, I apparently was worrying for nothing. There we are then. All right, let's go ahead and pop down a compressor over here. Level that up massively. In fact, at this point, we can really afford to just throw money at problems and get that storage all the way up. There we are. You can't do anything right now, which it is a problem, certainly. There we are. We're going to need more peons, honestly. Another catapult over here as well. Level that one up as much as I'm able to. Now I can't take it all the way because I have... Oh, we found some books. There we go. I can finally show you what books are. Alright, so books. If you have a look at a book, books are found once per building type when a level 10 building is destroyed due to durability loss. Device information for the building will be added to the help section at that point. I do need to show you the trick for the helipad as well. We will get to that in just a second. But the books can be used on things like this, reducing the cost to level up helipads or level up the factory, cloud seeder, reduce the cost to level up the library. Lots of reduced costs, but there are some other uses. For example, if you come over here and invest in these directions, you've got other places you can put your books. So you can run the hanger device automatically after it was manually activated once. You can basically have these constantly run the devices, so you cycle the building over and over and over again. Let's go for... Sure, let's go for the helipad device once it's run. So the helipad device, pretty simple actually. You just click on the nodes as the clock face moves through. I think you can just click in the middle, so you don't need to move your mouse over the clock face, but this is literally it. And it'll just randomly decide where the point is going to be. And there we go. And we're done. There we are. Perfect. Now, they are currently waiting for me to be able to accept them. Did I have any more books? Or am I good? I think I'm probably good. This will probably show the... Oh, no, it doesn't show the helicopter device, unfortunately. Can I now turn this on automatically? Yep. Auto device. There we go. Increase it. Get maximum amount in there. In terms of getting peeps over there, though, I very much need to increase the amount of peons that I can allow at any one time. Generates higher value medium trash. Can allow the helicopter to jump further to the right. Let's take that. That's going to be an important one for us, as that will allow me to move this a little bit further along. 1, 2. That will allow it to go over there. I've got to wait for this trash to be moved first, though, sadly. Maybe, given that, I am going to build a new house. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another house on the map. We need more peons. There we go. Another level 10 house. And... oh my lord, the amount of peons we're about to get. There we go. Up to 58. That should clear out this blockage. See, the problem is when the blockage reaches one of the pipes, that pipe stops being able to output. But as you can see, choppers are dropping a lot of trash now. Once they're done, they will fly off map, fly back on, and will from now on drop stuff off here. But you can absolutely build the helipad over here and have them drop into the hole directly, which is quite a useful thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and press the clone button. We're going to get a bunch of extra blissful clones who are going to run around and do their job. And the helipad is gone. It was that fast. My goodness. Let's go ahead and pop that back down. Immediately level it up all the way. And get the maximum amount of trash out of this that we can. He says, not being able to afford it. We'll get there eventually, don't worry. Right. How are we doing over here? We're doing relatively well. Down to 22%. We might even reach this after all. Again, I'm actually really, really impressed with the pace that we've been keeping here. Not doing too bad of... This certainly isn't any kind of speed run, not even close to it. This is just fast that I'm used to, considering the speed of the demo and how much I was expecting this to really escalate and increase the kind of like the compounding prices and stuff like that. But so far, so good. A new quest can be completed. Let's go ahead and check that out. Knowledge is power. One blue shot, thank you. Right, there we are. That's the perfect location. All of this is dropping right within reach of the vacuum here for the compressor. That is absolutely wonderful. Right, well, you know what we can do with all of that cash burning a hole in our pocket? We can go ahead and upgrade to the minigun. Okay, output pipe for all buildings can be opened and closed by clicking on the pipe. That would allow me to clog the output pipes. Not really something I'm looking to do though. There we go, and we'll get the last person in there and maximize the throwing potential. And absolutely ridiculous amounts being thrown. Very much approve. Increase the throw all the way up to the top. There we are. We are flying through this now. Right, are we going to be able to get this done in time? I am dubious. I would very much like to try all the same. This sage, I guess I could put a research lab or training over here. Not really that useful to me, either one. Actually, destroy this. Ah, we have awoken the golem. Hello. They're going to wander around being a nuisance. But we can, in fact, get this. Increase the size generated trash coming in from the portal, which is kind of amazing. I'm going to go for an extra catapult. No, stop breaking my stuff. That is literally the golem's thing. It's going to walk around bashing things. Doesn't bash the temple. Oh, I'm very glad about that, because that would suck. As it's probably evident by this stage, that is how you increase. You get the good ending. Yep, just wandering along, breaking all of the things like an absolute menace. Let's get a. Oh, did I build a? Oh yeah, I did. My bad. What I meant to do is build a helipad, a compressor, a catapult. I mean, on the plus side, I'm getting all of these yellow shards, so it isn't actually that bad. Do we really need that at this stage? I doubt it. We can probably do without. Let's go ahead and upgrade the helipad completely. 2 levels to drop. 1, 2, actually 3 levels, maybe. No, 2 should be fine. Make sure we're getting maximum trash. And auto-divide. Never mind. Wow. Goodbye, golem. Did all this without ever getting a bulldozer. But that is it. The ending is here. A sub 2-hour run. The final touches on our fantastic peon statue. Now, 3 guesses for what happens if the laser isn't there. Though I don't classify shooting bones and skulls as a laser. I classify that as some sort of demonic shotgun. But okay, congratulations, you filled the hole, reached the statue, and captured the monster. Thanks for playing. Playtime 1 hour and 54 minutes. The trash manually tossed, 49. That's a lot more than I was expecting. Trash peons tossed, 5,303. Clouds clicked, 1,292. Clouds destroyed, 377. There was a total of 184,981 trash. We made $2.4 million, 11,344 research points, 80 yellow shards, 12 blue shards, 8 red shards, 3 books. 3 books? Oh, I'm kind of surprised by that. And 25 out of 35 quests. But that is going to be it for me and for Fill Up the Hole. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I have. There are other ways you can go through this, and I am certain that someone is going to get that number down very low. I'm not sure how low they'd be able to get it, but there are some very, very competent and, dare I say, tricksy players out there. I wouldn't be too shocked if I saw a sub-hour run, but I think you could probably get this into the sort of like 1 hour and a half without too much trouble. You would definitely need to optimize your build and your plan, but I think it would be something you could work towards. If any of you do manage it, then let me know down in the comments below. But that's going to be it from me. So until next time, and as always, you take care.